It's our last 2 days in Las Vegas, and after a few rough sessions, the slot wins finally came through at Sam's Town, New York, and even Park MGM. We squeezed in some great food, some candy stops, and wrapped it all up with a smooth flight home, complete with a stunning view down the strip at departure, and a sunset climb into the night sky. Let's finish this trip right. It's Thursday morning in Las Vegas, and I'm flying home on Saturday, so it's time to make the most of the time left here at Park MGM Hotel. This morning, I'm headed down to Italy, the food hall here at Park MGM, to look around, see what they have to offer, and hopefully get some coffee. So this is Italy. It's kind of like stepping into an Italian street market, but indoors, with way more Vegas energy. It's a mix of food counters, sit-down restaurants, bars, and even little shops, all packed into this big open space that smells amazing the second you walk in. You can wander around and find places cooking fresh pasta right in front of you, wood-fired pizzas coming straight out of the oven, seafood being prepared on the spot in stations with house-cured meats and artesian cheeses. There's even a fresh bread counter and a pastry section if you're more into sweets, and yes, there's gelato too. If you're just in the mood for a snack or something quick, there are grab-and-go counters, but if you want to sit down, there are places where you can order a full meal and people watch while you eat. It's all really flexible. They also sell imported groceries like pasta, olive oil, sausage, and Italian candies. So if you're into cooking, you'll probably find something cool to take home. There's a wine bar with a big selection of Italian wines by the glass or bottle, and of course, an espresso bar if you need a caffeine boost. Overall, Italy's a fun spot to explore, great for food lovers or just anyone looking for something different from the usual casino restaurants. Even if you don't stop to eat, it's worth walking through just to check out the vibe. As you could see, the line for coffee was quite long, and I decided that coffee could wait until later. After checking out Italy, I stepped outside to take in the front of Park MGM. It's got this clean, modern vibe, especially with the Italy entrance right there at the corner. And of course, right across the street, you can't miss the giant Coca-Cola bottle and the MMs World sign. Classic Vegas landmarks, especially if you've never been down this stretch before. I headed over to the pedestrian bridge that crosses the strip. Always a cool view from up there, especially with the traffic, the lights, and the people everywhere. You get a good look at things like New York and its roller coaster in the distance, and that full stretch of the strip looking both ways. I ended up heading down toward Walgreens, mostly because, let's be real, bottled water on the strip is ridiculously overpriced. You can easily pay $5 or $6 or even more at a hotel, but here it's just a couple of bucks and you're good to go. Pro tip if you're into saving money. Then I circled back and made my way toward the Coca-Cola Store in MMs World, getting some nice views of the Strip, Park MGM, and New York across the way. This corner always is buzzing, day or night. Tons of foot traffic, street performers, music, and lights. Just one of those classic Vegas spots that always feels alive. After soaking up the street vibes for a bit, I decided to head into the Coca-Cola Store. I hadn't been in for a while, and it's always fun to see what kind of wild merch and soda combos they've got going on inside. Inside the Coca-Cola Store, it's all decked out in red and full of branded everything. Shirts, hats, mugs, you name it. They've even got giant Coke bottles and bear merch if that's what you're into. Normally, you can head upstairs to try different Coke flavors from around the world. It's kind of their thing, but the escalator was roped off for maintenance, so not this time. Just my luck. Still, worth popping in if you're nearby and want to cool off or grab a quick souvenir. Right next door is MMs World, and since I couldn't get upstairs at the Coke store, I figured I'd get my sugar fix here instead. M&M's World is 4 floors of pure candy chaos, wall-to-wall merchandise, chocolate and color everywhere. On the way up, I passed all kinds of wild M&M gear, t-shirts, mugs, plushies, and even M&M branded Vegas souvenirs, if you want something a little different from your usual keychain. But the main event here is definitely the giant wall of M&Ms. This thing is massive, rows and rows of every color and flavor you can imagine. You grab a cup, fill it up however you want, and the price depends on the size you choose, not the weight. So yeah, pack it tight if you're going for value. I scoped it out on the way up, but couldn't resist on the way back down and had to grab a mix. You kind of get sucked in when you see all the colors and combos. It's fun, totally over the top, very Vegas. Whether you're into peanut or just classic milk chocolate, they've got it all. After leaving M&M's, I walked south toward MGM Grand. Along the way, I passed one of those Ticks for Everything booths. You'll see a bunch of these around Vegas offering discounted show tickets and tours. Handy if you're looking for something last minute. Got a quick look at the big MGM Grand sign, always a good photo op, and then headed up the escalator to cross back over the Strip. From up here, the views of the Strip looking north are always great, especially with all the chaos of traffic and neon. Once I crossed back over, I landed right at the front of New York, New York again, and the next stop was Hershey's Chocolate World. Yep, because 2 candy stores in a row totally makes sense in Vegas. Inside Hershey's Chocolate World, it's wall-to-wall candy, merchandise, and chocolate overload. In the best way, of course. You'll find everything from oversized candy bars to Hershey-themed t-shirts, mugs, and souvenirs. Definitely more than just snacks in here. I took the Scenic elevator down to the first floor. which gives you a cool look at the store as you go. And once you get down, well, it's bulk candy heaven. There are big dispensers where you can mix and match different kinds of Hershey's chocolates, Reese's, Kisses, mini bars, you name it. One of the highlights down here is definitely the Statue of Liberty made entirely of chocolate. It's pretty impressive, not something you see every day, even in Vegas. After soaking up all the sugar and chocolate at Hershey's, I headed back to my room at Park MGM for a bit of a break to take a moment to relax and recharge for a while. Later that afternoon, I made my way back over to New York for an early dinner at Gonzales. It's a fun spot tucked inside the casino area with a cool cantina vibe, a mix of Mexican street food, Tex-Mex classics, and some solid margaritas. The menu here is pretty big. They've got everything from margaritas and Mexican beers to a full tequila list, plus all the classic dishes you'd expect. I started off with a Cadillac margarita, always a solid choice, and then ordered some chips with a dip trio. You get guacamole, salsa, and queso, which is basically the perfect appetizer situation if you ask me. For the main dish, I chose chili rellenos. They came stuffed, fried just right, and covered in sauce, super flavorful and exactly the kind of comfort food I was craving after walking around on the Strip this afternoon. Everything came out pretty quick, and the vibe is, well, relaxed and fun. Nothing too fancy, but definitely a good sit-down spot if you want to take your time and enjoy the meal. I lucked out with a nice spot overlooking the walkways inside New York. A great spot for people watching while I eat my food. After dinner, I played some slots at New York, and even found an old-school 2-quarter double diamond machine I love. I had fun for a bit, but like most sessions on this trip so far, no real wins. I wrapped it up, headed back to Park MGM, watched a little TV, and called it a night. The next morning, we're off the Strip and starting the day at Sam's Town. First stop, the Atrium. This place is such a hidden gem. It's quiet, lush, and honestly kind of peaceful compared to the chaos of the Strip. For people like me, Sam's Town has to be one of the most underrated spots in Vegas. This indoor atrium right in the middle of the hotel, well, it's got full-on waterfalls, lush greenery, and even a little walking path that loops around the whole thing. You'd never guess you were just off Boulder Highway with how quiet and peaceful it is in here. Above the atrium, you can see the hotel rooms wrapping around, giving this kind of open, airy feel. It's a great spot just to take a breather, especially if you've been dealing with the constant noise and crowds of the Strip. Honestly, I could hang out here all morning. After soaking in the atrium, though, I headed to the casino floor at Sam's Town and played a few machines. Nothing too exciting at first, until I stumbled on some original Buffalo slots, which are getting harder and harder to find these days. I ended up hitting $139 on one and then $189 on another. Definitely my best run of the trip so far. It finally put me ahead for a session. After that win, I figured it was time for a break and grabbed a quick bite at the food court. Went with Panda Express, which totally hit the spot. Once I was recharged, I called an Uber and headed over to South Point. I'd never been there and was curious to check it out. I grabbed a coffee at the Starbucks just inside the entrance, signed up for a player's card and played a few slots. But I didn't want to give back those Samstown winnings, so I cashed out and made my way back to the Strip. I ended up back in New York, and went for an early dinner at Broadway Burger Bar and Grill. Figured that was a solid way to close out this day. I took a quick look at the menu, lots of solid options, but I already knew what I was after. The place was still pretty quiet since I got there early, which was actually kind of nice. I started off with a bowl of their chili. It had just the right amount of kick and was way better than I expected for a burger spot. For the main course, I went with the Broadway signature cheeseburger and fries. Classic, juicy, and definitely one of the better burgers I've had in Vegas. After that, I grabbed a quick shot of the sign on my way out and headed to the casino. I found a Buffalo Gold machine that came through with a $414 win. Finally, the tides were turning. The energy in the casino was electric that night. The Vegas Golden Knights were making their season home debut, and there was even a full-on parade with a drum line marching through the casino. I caught some quick footage of that before heading out. On the way back to Park MGM, I passed by Gallaghers Steakhouse and grabbed a few shots of that stunning glass meat cooler where they aged their beef. I already featured my dinner there earlier in the trip, but it's always worth showing off that spot again. Such a cool setup. Back at Park MGM, the place was packed. Maroon 5 was playing at the Dolby Theater, and the line to get in ran right through the casino. Despite the crowd, I made it to the slots and hit a few more wins, $180 on a dancing drums machine, and then closed out the night with a $425 win on Mo Mummy. After a week of mostly rough sessions, I finally clawed back almost all my losses. A perfect way to wrap up the trip. My flight on Saturday wasn't until 5:36 p.m., so I arranged for a late checkout, stayed in my room for a while, and just kicked back watching some college football. A nice low-key way to spend the last few hours. Eventually, I made my way to the airport, hopped on the tram to my gate, and got ready for takeoff. The departure didn't disappoint. We took off headed west with an amazing view of the Strip in the background, including the Sphere. And right at the end, I got that perfect shot looking straight down the Strip northbound. One of the best angles I've ever caught from the air. And right after that, we passed directly over Allegiant Stadium and the freeway, another cool perspective. Then came this beautiful stretch of golden sunset, trailing off into darkness as we flew east into the night. And to top it off, First class dinner was a really solid Jamaican chicken dish with plantains, a surprisingly great end to a memorable trip. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, would you hit the thumbs up, share it with friends, and leave us a comment to let us know your thoughts? We invite you to join us on our website at findushere.com, as well as on Facebook, Instagram, and Patreon. Meanwhile, check out this video next for more travel fun, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss any of our new content. Your subscription is always free, helps us grow the channel, and is always greatly appreciated.